In November 1922, an archaeological team was digging through the searing sand of Egypt's Valley of the Kings. They were exhausted, out of time, and on their absolute final funded attempt to locate a lost royal tomb. The man paying for all this digging was Lord Carnarvon, a wealthy British aristocrat. Over 15 years, he had poured the modern equivalent of millions of dollars into this desert, finding absolutely nothing. But on November 26th, the team finally hit stone. They drilled a small hole through a doorway that had been sealed shut for 3 millennia, revealing a single name stamped on the entrance: Tutankhamun. Inside lay a collection of staggering wealth. The room was packed with chariots, intricate statues, and a coffin crafted entirely of solid gold, untouched since the day the boy king was buried. It was an incredible archaeological victory, but within months, the celebration would collapse into a global horror story. The rumors started almost immediately. Shortly after the tomb was opened, a royal Egyptian cobra slithered into the lead archaeologist's home and ate his pet canary. Then came the first human casualty. In April 1923, Lord Carnarvon accidentally sliced open a mosquito bite while shaving in his Cairo hotel. The wound became infected, and after days of agonizing fever, he died. The exact moment he took his last breath, the power grid across Cairo entirely failed, and supposedly, at that exact instant, his pet dog back in London let out a terrifying howl and dropped dead. From there, the body count rapidly climbed. Over the next few years, 22 different people connected to the excavation mysteriously lost their lives. The public panic reached such a fever pitch that even Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the brilliant mind who created Sherlock Holmes, publicly declared that an evil elemental spirit was responsible for the killings. The entire world was convinced that the pharaoh was taking his revenge. To figure out if this was an ancient trap or an elaborate modern illusion, we have to look closely at the mummy itself. We imagine ancient pharaohs as towering, flawless figures, but the physical remains of Tutankhamun reveal a much harsher reality. Because Egyptian royalty practiced severe inbreeding to keep their bloodlines pure, Tutankhamun inherited a host of biological defects. Modern forensic analysis shows he suffered from severe malaria and a painful, decaying bone disorder. His left foot was so badly deformed that he could not walk a single step unassisted. That is why archaeologists found over 130 meticulously crafted walking sticks buried right alongside his golden mask. He achieved almost nothing during his brief reign. Following his death at age 19, his successors viewed him as an embarrassment and actively chipped his name off public monuments to erase him from history. Ironically, that aggressive erasure is exactly why his tomb survived untouched. Grave robbers simply forgot he was there. So what actually killed the people who entered his tomb? Modern pathology points to Aspergillus niger, an incredibly hardy, highly inflammatory fungus that thrives in dark, sealed environments. When the tomb was finally breached, clouds of these dormant fungal spores were kicked into the air. If a visitor already had a compromised immune system, breathing in those spores would trigger severe respiratory failure. We also have to remember the medical reality of 1923. Penicillin had not been invented yet. A heavy exposure to ancient mold or a mosquito bite that got infected while shaving was often a fatal sentence. What about the terrifying detail that the mummy had a blemish in the exact spot as Lord Carnarvon's mosquito bite? That was entirely fabricated by a rival newspaper, angry that they were legally blocked from covering the excavation. Even the chilling simultaneous death of Carnarvon's dog falls apart under basic scrutiny. Reporters claimed the dog died the minute Carnarvon passed away in Cairo at 1:55 a.m., but they conveniently ignored time zones. It was midnight in London, and the dog actually died 4 hours later. As for the famous clay tablet hanging above the door, warning that death shall come on swift wings, it never existed. A fiction novelist named Marie Corelli made it up entirely for a tabloid article. There was no curse. It was a masterclass in 1920s fake news, fueled by petty journalistic rivalries and a desperate need to sell daily papers. The final decisive blow to the myth comes from the raw data. In 2002, medical researchers tracked the lifespans of the 44 Westerners present in Egypt during the excavation. This chart shows the average life expectancy for the people who supposedly provoked the pharaoh's wrath. The ones who actually went inside the tomb lived to an average age of 73, which was noticeably higher than the standard life expectancy of the era. And then there is Howard Carter, who personally broke the seal and pulled the mummy from its resting place. If a trap existed, he'd be the first victim. Instead, Carter lived peacefully to 64, telling reporters he felt fine. People prefer a thrilling supernatural mystery over a dull medical fact, but objective data always outlasts the panic. The ancient Egyptians believed that a person suffers a second, true death the moment their name is spoken by the living for the very last time. Under that definition, Tutankhamun had been dead for thousands of years. His enemies had successfully scrubbed his existence from the world, leaving him in total obscurity. When Howard Carter cleared away the sand, he did not unleash a deadly plague. He pulled a forgotten, disabled teenager out of the dark and spoke his name again. Thanks to the explosive fake news generated by the media, King Tutankhamun achieved what every pharaoh desperately wanted. His name will never be forgotten.